Phase 2 in the performance recovery system is all about biphasic stretching. So we're using little micro movements to try to tap into the potential of mobilizing through the big, broadly attaching muscles of the body that we just reviewed in the global SMR protocols that we did previously. So we're going to be going back through the major muscle groups of the hip girdle and also the shoulder girdle, starting with the quadriceps. So Lindsay's going to be down in a half kneeling position here, making sure to neutralize her spinal positions. Everything is in neutral, including the shoulders, the hips, and the core, and we're going to add a little bit of a rocking mechanism here, which we should feel a slight stretch coming through the front side of the thigh. The next stretch that we're going to be going into is the adductor complex. So we're going to be down in a quadruped position. We're going to bias it with an adductor leg out to the side, and we're going to be rocking back again. It's pivotal, once again, that we keep the neutralized spinal position and we don't dump the pelvis over. Notice as Lindsay goes through, she's micro-moving in and out of an authentic terminal end range stretch here. The next one we're going to be going through is the hamstring group. So Lindsay's going to come up in standing, she's going to stagger her stance here, and again with a neutralized spinal position, we're going to be moving that hamstring into a stretch position and then in and out with a slight knee bend. Lindsay's using the leverage off of her hands, but also her foot position, again, to place a more active base stretch terminally through these tissues on the back side of the thigh. The next one we're going to be going into is a modified pigeon pose to try to target some of the gluteal muscles. So guys, make sure that you can actually keep a neutral spinal position in here if you are going off the floor. And if you can't go off the floor, simply use a pad or a stair to elevate that front side up so we can, again, maintain neutral spinal position and pelvic position simultaneously. Now we're going to be going into the upper body here. We have the pecs and the lats that we want to be mobilizing. Again, we're going to be going about 30 to 45 seconds per side here, and we want everything else to remain in a neutral position. So we have the pecs biased on a stretch here. We have it a little bit above a 90-degree bend. We have a 90-degree bend at the elbow. Lindsay's feet are staggered, and she's using her hips to oscillate in and out of that terminal end range stretch here. Notice that her head stays in neutral the entire time as well. The last one that we have is a lat stretch, which we're going to be using our hip hinge with. So Lindsay has her hands grabbing the rack. She has an overhead position with neutral spinal position at the neck, the mid-back, and the lumbar spine. And she's pushing back at her hips into a hip hinge motion, again, to tension down through the lats on a terminal end range stretch. Guys, we want to spend a little bit of time here, so you can draw these out from anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds if you're in a rush to get this in after a training session, all the way out to 1 to 3 minutes per stretch. But it's pivotal that we don't compensate to get the stretch mechanism and the stretching stimulus through these tissues. Everything needs to be in neutral, everything needs to be actively controlled, and that's how you get the most out of your performance recovery biphasic stretch.